The first awardee for the Hall of Fame is William G. Paul. Bill Paul was president of the American Bar Association from 1999 to 2000, and the ABA is the world's largest voluntary professional association in the world. He has also served as president of the Oklahoma County Bar Association and the Oklahoma Bar Association, and a recipient of the Oklahoma Bar Association's Lifetime Achievement Award. He serves as of counsel. He serves as counsel to Crow and Dunlevy, and has served previously as general counsel and senior vice president of the Phillips Petroleum Company. From Paul's Valley, and affectionately known as Willie of the Valley, there's a book by Bob Burke, which I'm guessing you've got a few copies with you. A couple of comments from friends. The first from Dean Emeritus Andy Coate, who said in his usual pithy fashion that Bill was the most complete lawyer he has ever known. And these comments from Judge Lee West. Bill Paul and I entered Oklahoma University together in 1948. He very quickly established himself as an outstanding student. Shortly thereafter, I was standing beside the road in Norman, trying to hitchhike my way to my hometown in Antlers. Bill picked me up and gave me a lift to Paul's Valley. From that day, we have been close friends. Through school, in each other's wedding, through the Marine Corps in Korea, then moot court partners in law school. I can't begin to place a value on his friendship through the years. He has been both a friend and an inspiration to me, because he not only gave me a lift on the road, but throughout undergraduate school and law school. He has been my role model as a lawyer and a person in every sense of the word. I am unable to express how truly grateful I am to my main man, William G. Paul. I agree. At this time, I would like to invite Bill Paul and the students, Sahar Jooshani, to the stage. Bill is a graduate of the class of 1956. While at OU, he was selected as the outstanding male graduate in the class of 1952. He served as president of the Payette Society, was student commander of the Navy ROTC Battalion, and was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. His law school education was interrupted by 2 years of active service in the U.S. Marine Corps, including service in Korea. He re-entered law school as a junior in the fall of 1954 and had the highest grade point average in his class in the first semester after his return. Our student presenter is Sahar Jooshani. She is going to join the JAG Corps next year, has studied abroad in France and in Jordan, speaks 5 languages, and was selected for the first Holloway Scholarship. Sahar, please present Mr. Paul with his award.
Thanks. All right. Sahar, would you hold that?
Sure.
Well, Sahar, I thought I heard the dean say that he was picking a student that most clearly modeled the recipient. Sahar, I hate to tell you this, but I do not speak 5 languages. You know, a nice ingredient for an honoree is humility, to be humble. And that's not difficult for me tonight, because there are some of you out there that deserve this award more than I do. But let me send a message to you. I'm not giving it back. I'm going to take it. Well, President Bourne, Dean Harroz, Chief Justice Taylor, there you are. And Chancellor Johnson. I recognize all of you as great leaders in what we're all about. First, I want to thank Dean Joe Harroz for that wonderful introduction and to say what a great job he's doing. I have continued on the Board of Visitors, and I was trying to think of what I could say briefly about him to describe him. The first word, and President Boren's already used it, is energy. He has boundless energy. And the second word I came up with was sound judgment. He has a remarkable ability to gather facts, to look at them, to look at trends, to look at what's going on, and to make what I think are great decisions about what ought to be the future of the law school. When he got the job, I thought, how could anybody have the courage to follow Dean Andy Coates? We all know what Dean Coates did, and it was monumental. But Joe, you're off to a good start. Just keep it up, and maybe 5 or 6 years, somebody will say, Andy Coates, who's he? He's, among other things, he's had some great initiatives, including starting this Order of the Owl. I think it's wonderful, and I hope it continues for many years. You know, the owl is a wise old bird, and I'm 50% qualified. Next is a thank you to President Boren. Thank you for hosting this event, President Boren. I don't know anybody here that had to pay for their dinner, and it's because you did. And thank you so much. And Molly, thank you for lending us your ballroom tonight. It's just wonderful. You know, I'm going to give you a quote here. It's my quote. Who said this? I did. David Boren is the most remarkable Oklahoman ever. With the possible exception of Will Rogers, and I think he may eclipse Will Rogers. He's had so many great projects, and I might say opportunities for the rest of us for giving. But it's supposed to be a short speech, so I've tried to capsulize things, and here's how I've tried to capitalize the fantastic things David and Molly Boren have done. Here it is. You have made a good university into a great university. That's what you've done. Now, it's certainly an honor to be inducted with Ada Lois Supiel Fisher posthumously, a woman of tremendous courage and principle, not only significant here in Oklahoma, but nationally, and to be inducted with DeVere Pearson and Bill Ross, who are giants of our profession and who deserve this honor. And so I am grateful for that. This is a night for thank yous. I'd like to go through just a few. Thank you for the selection committee that included me in this group. I don't think there's anything I treasure more or will treasure more than being one of the first inductees into the Order of the Owl from my law school. So thank you. And thank you, Barbara, my wife. Barbara has been a partner for 48 years. She has shared my goals, objectives, worked with me to accomplish them, and I wouldn't be here but for Barbara. and family. My children are all a little too far away to come, but my brother Homer, I still have a little leverage on him. He's younger. I said, Homer, you and Ramona have to come. So they did. And they're here, and we're so happy they're here. I thank Dean Earl Sneed and his faculty for the wonderful legal education that I received. In all my professional experience, never, ever, at any time, did I ever feel the slightest bit disadvantaged because of my legal education. In fact, I have a tendency to be a little arrogant at times, and I think mine was superior to most. Next, and maybe most important in my career, I thank my law firm. It's now Crowe and Dunlevy. When I joined it, it was Embry, Crowe, Talbert, Boxley, and Johnson. And the man who hired me, Raymond Talbert, had more to do with shaping me as a lawyer than anyone else. I only had the privilege of working with him for 3 years, but I would like everyone here, the president of our firm, Roger Stong, is here. I'd like everyone here from Crowe and Dunlevy to stand, please, and accept my thank you. I thank the wonderful clients that I had along the way. They gave me great opportunities to work on very significant matters, and but for that, I wouldn't be here. I thank the fellow lawyers who've supported me in so many of the things I sought to do. For example, one of the most significant things, at least on my resume, is having been president of the American Bar Association. The campaign manager of my successful campaign is here tonight. He gave his time, his talent, his energy to see that I was elected. And he was so successful that before the actual balloting, my opponent withdrew. And that is Jim Sturdivant from Tulsa. So, Jim, I thank you, and I thank you really symbolic for all the help and support I've gotten from Oklahoma lawyers in all that I ever sought to do. So I thank all who've given me the opportunities to serve. Now, Dean Joe, I'm almost through. I promise. Now, I don't wish to detract from the dignity of this occasion, but nevertheless, I thought a lighthearted note might be in order. I would say this: in spite of our age, I'm going to suggest to Bill Ross and DeVere Pearson that we be modern and contemporary. We need to have a web page. And I think it ought to be like www.owl@ou.edu. And the only word common to people talk and owl talk is the word hoot. So we've got to have a username. I think we should reserve Hoot1 for Ada, Lois, Supio, Fisher, but Bill and DeVere and I think ought to be Hoots 2, 3, and 4. Now, I could even envision in future years a 3L, for those of you that aren't that law school sophisticated, that's a senior, and a 1L, that's a freshman, walking down the corridors of the Andrew Coates halls, and there's this noise, and the 1L says to the 3L, "What is all that hooting?" And the 3L says to the 1L, "Why, that's a meeting of the men and women of the Order of the Owl." And the 1L says, "Well, what do they do?" The 3L says, "Well, you know, the only single owl word they know is hoot." And so someone makes a motion, and the president says, "All in favor, say hoot." And they do. And then the president says, all opposed, say hoot. And they do. And then the president says, well, the hoots have it. And then the 3L says, as a result, nobody ever knows who wins or loses. And as a result, they never get anything done. But other than that, they're a fine bunch of folks. Now, in just two almost one-liner thoughts I want to leave with you. By our school are we known. And it behooves all of us to support and nurture and strengthen our school. As it is stronger, so are we stronger. And the second message is to you law students here. President Boren touched on this, and that is, as you enter the profession, you will be the guardians of the rule of law, and never forget it. Now, in honor of my Irish mother, I have an Irish blessing for you. My father's heritage was Chickasaw, but Governor Anoatubby has never taught me to speak Chickasaw, so I can't do that. But I love this Irish blessing in honor of my mother. May there always be work for your hands to do. May your purse always hold a coin or two. May the sun always shine on your window pane. May a rainbow be certain to follow each rain. May the hand of a friend always be near you, and may God fill your heart with gladness to cheer you. Thank you.